We are WNST, AM 1570, Taos, Baltimore. We're Baltimore Positive. We're wrapping things up here in Perry Hall, and if you are listening to AM 1570 in the next couple weeks, you're going to hear a whole wide variety of things. Tim Kirchin joined us this week. JT the Brick talking about Max Crosby as well as Marvin Lewis. I've been doing crab cake tour stops everywhere from Costas last Friday. Last Wednesday we were at Gertrude's with Dan Rodricks, the whole crew. Amazing show at the BMA. It's sold out. I have a feeling Dan's going to be bringing that one back again and again. And this guy here is one of the kind of people that would love No Mean City, Baltimore, 1966. Ed Stylc's been my friend for about 25 years. I believe he was a listener to me before we met, but he was a 513 aficionado. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. You get a Harlem Globetrotters number 82. That's a Shannon Sharp.
Well, there we go.
If I say 82 to you, you probably would say a football player, right?
It would have to be. It would probably be Shannon.
If I say 81, what do you say?
Roger Carr, maybe? No, is he 80
Bolden?
or 81?
Bolden?
No, Anquan Bolden.
Bolden? You got to get an 81
81.
Bolden, right? I'm trying to think of all the 80s. 81.
Yeah, I'm better with baseball numbers.
Yeah, if I say 50, I got Brad Jackson. I got numbers everywhere. But you're a sports guy. But more than that, we've become like music friends in the adulthood. I have to publicly say that he helped me get my car running in the parking lot in Philadelphia. I'd have been sleeping with the rats under the Wells Fargo Center in Philly if it weren't for this guy at the ELO show.
We found out a lot about how to get a car off a lot that night.
Well, you're like an old school. You and I have a lot in common because of music and sports and our age. I don't even know how old you are.
I'll be 58 in August.
I'll be 58 in October.
Yeah,
so we are the same age.
And you're Dundalk and I'm Highlandtown.
He's from the city. He's from one of them city kids up there.
Oh, my area is now Brewers Hill.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Calvert Hall.
My son went to the Hall, Perry Hall. So, all right. Well, I don't even know this stuff about you because I never talked about it. Why do I know you? Were you a listener?
I was thinking about that on the way over here. I used to run into. Well, I knew of you because of the newspaper, and I used to look for the concert reviews. So that's how I originally knew. And I would run.
You are an OG. That's 40 years ago.
And I would run into you at shows, and we'd occasionally talk. And the one thing that I couldn't believe is like Nestor remembers everybody's name. I'm like, how does he do that?
I'm not really good at that. I just guess I remembered your name.
Yeah, well, I don't
know.
know.
2 letters, Ed. It's easy, right?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, a longer name, it's harder.
Yeah, but we always ran into each other at places like that, and then I ended up in 513 in the year 2000.
Well, that would have. Oh, you weren't an original buyer.
I was in 537 the first 2 years.
Did you buy into an empty PSL, or what did you do?
I had a single seat with some friends on the other side of the stadium. And then I called my rep. I didn't want to sit there anymore, and I wanted a second seat. And it just happened. They said, we have 2 in 513. I'm like, that's the WNST section. You're like, what row? I think it was row 5, whatever.
Chad Steele thinks of it as a section he threw me out of.
Yeah, apparently so. Hey, I almost got thrown out of there a few times.
Well, I mean, you drank more on Sundays.
Different reasons,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I miss going to the games in that way. I don't miss paying for it.
Me either.
I miss going to the games because what happened there was very special.
Sure.
I mean, it was all the same people. It was all the same people behind the alcove for 20 years. It's not anymore.
It's not. I've been back here and there. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same, and it's not the same. When Ray Lewis stopped dancing, there was a whole piece of history that, and as silly as that is, we were the only one to ever have a player do that, right? Like nobody else had that sort of thing going on. There was something professional wrestling about it. There was something rap about it. There was something Baltimore about it. There was something black and white and purple and us against them. And it was just, the Ravens were a beautiful concept.
And we were there at the beginning of it, and that's part of the charm of the whole thing.
I'm wondering, is it as much fun for anybody as it used to be?
Maybe.
And I'm not being a get off my lawn guy. I'm wondering for the hardcore people that go down there and experience the Lamar thing, and they're in on every game, and they're spending 5 times what we used to spend on everything.
Without a doubt.
And then I see the empty seats, and part of the mojo killer is just the fact that it's not full up, and it's not the same people.
That's the biggest part. It's not the same people.
Well, the other part was, and I remember this back in 96 and 97, and you probably were a listener then, where I had to do the civic turn where Marvin was on this week, where our fans would cheer on offense because we didn't have a team here. We didn't know better.
Right.
And now they put up every week, and I see it when I'm watching the game on TV, telling the fans, this is how visiting fans act, this is how home teams act. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, we're 30 years into this, and...
True, but it happens in other stadiums, too. I mean, I don't like it as much as you don't like it, but people need to be prompted. I don't know why. We knew.
I don't know, dude. I was at the Steelers-Ravens game 8 weeks ago. It was the first game I've been to in a couple years. Guest of Mike Tomlin, which is a disgrace to John Harbaugh, to all of them, quite frankly. But I had a great time that night.
Yeah.
And the reason I had a great time was that it was so passionate. And it wasn't my passion. It was all Steelers fans. There were a couple Ravens. And I saw Steelers fans saying stuff to girls that was just like, this is how the fights start. Calling girls the C word, screaming it for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Because they're wearing
That's the dumbest thing. And I was as guilty of it as anybody for a while. Not maybe calling women that, but just this other person with this other jersey on who's probably a better person than some of the people wearing the purple for all I know. And automatically they're the enemy. We're not on the field playing.
Yeah, and I love my 20s and my 30s.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm in my 50s. And I'm glad
love it.
I look at it differently.
It's the best time of my life. Being 57,
Why?
going into 58.
What do you love about your
Because
life?
I've figured everything out. I wish I would have figured it out when I was younger. Does that make any sense?
Teach the audience here. Tell them what you want to tell them. You got a soapbox here.
Okay,
man.
well, for
you
me...
used to call the show. Now you get
For
your
me
thing.
personally...
By the way, Ed Stylc's my guest. He's my buddy.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
for me personally, at this age, I don't have to be seen. I don't have to be somewhere on a Friday or Saturday night. My best friend lives with me, my wife. I have a wonderful daughter. I heard you talking. I have a 77-inch TV connected to YouTube. It's my connection to the world.
Well, I still like
And
a
I'm
real
happy.
concert, but I can tell
So
you.
do I.
Ed and I have been to concerts together for years. You're a big concert guy. By the way, I wear my Rolling Stones belt for you today because I know
Yeah, I
you're wondering
remember.
what belt. I was going to wear a Stones
You've been
belt
collecting.
today. I've been collecting the belts, and I've spent money on these silly belts, and I collect baseball and NFL 1970 and 71 belt buckles, and I'm a couple away from having them all.
Right.
And
They're not cheap, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, some of the baseball ones and the football ones, they're not expensive. They're
Right.
$20-$30.
But
The concert ones are more bougie, especially the Kiss
Yeah, I
belts
looked
and
into that when you told me you were collecting them, and I saw
Yeah,
on
I mean,
eBay.
but I've wound up doing well and getting them at a reasonable rate, and it's been fun for me. But like going to the football games and going to the baseball games, what I did my entire life, I'm not going to get on I'm a media member, I deserve to be in free. There's a level of arrogance that come from the owners, that come from the team, that come from people like Chad Steele not being from around here, and Katie Griggs not being from around here, and Sashi Brown not being from around here.
They're not connected.
David Modell wasn't
No,
from
he
around
wasn't
here.
either, but, it
He
was
came
different.
here, and I would run into David all over town because he was always selling because that's what his dad taught him to do.
Right.
And he understood the importance of the B in the helmet because Baltimore was the lead story. I don't know that I feel that from sports anymore anywhere. It's an international gambling syndicate.
Big
like
time.
literally at this point. It's an open casino for gambling, and it's beyond an entertainment vehicle. It's tribal. It's not provincial. It's not local. The Raiders could move their team anywhere in the world, and they're an international
They're
brand.
just the Raiders.
They're not of Oakland or L.A. or Vegas. I feel that way when they're playing all these international games and doing different things. I don't feel like the Ravens are as Baltimore as when you and I were drinking beer at the barn
Right.
30 years ago, when it felt like a Baltimore entity. It feels like an international arm of the National Football League.
Let me give you a story how I once felt. I'm still a fan, don't get me wrong, how I felt about
We
the
all are.
franchise. One of the draft day parties at the stadium, you could get your picture with both Lombardi trophies, right? So anyway, they were roped off and way far in the distance. And I called my ticket rep. I said, that's not good enough. The last time you did this with the first trophy, you can come right up to it. He goes, well, let me call you back. He goes, can you be down at the stadium? It was like, I don't know, 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, one weekday. And I came down there. There's both trophies sitting right there with the press conference banner with the multiple Ravens logos. Walk right up to it, got a beautiful picture. They didn't have to do that for just some individual season ticket holder. It was amazing. And the other funny part was some other couple was there with their kid, and the kid banged into the podium.
Don't do
And
that.
there go the trophies. Wild one. I couldn't get my phone out of my pocket fast enough to try to get a picture, but they didn't fall. But
That's good.
It would have been a hell of a video.
Well, the original trophy, I was blessed enough to be invited to the Modell party back in December because the Bisciotti people won't have me because I'm a bad guy, bad fan. The original trophy is dented. It's dirty as hell, and Steve's embarrassed by it. Steve wants nothing to do with it.
Didn't David Modell think that was like a badge of honor that was banged
Steve
up?
Steve Bisciotti doesn't think that.
Oh, okay.
Steve Bisciotti's about image.
So go ahead and get a new one
made. It's a good thing I shaved
made.
today, Steve. Yeah, I mean, the old trophy was on the field in a bag and was going to be given to O.J. Brigance to carry out back in December, and Steve didn't want the old trophy, the real trophy there.
Right.
He's got the replica that's shiny because he wants the trophy to be shiny.
Yeah, I got a replica that's shiny, too. I got off of eBay that looks real.
Let me tell you what. You know, it was shiny for me, and I'm blessed, but Trent Dilfer held it up. You probably saw the picture of me and Trent with the trophy. That's the real trophy. It's good enough for Trent Dilfer to hold up, good enough for Matt Stover to hold up, good enough for Brad Jackson to hold up, good enough for Brandon Stokely to hold up, good enough for Nestor to hold up.
There's something about vintage stuff that people that collect guitars. They like to beat up old guitars from the 60s and stuff like that. It's character.
Beat up old radio host. Ed Stylc is here. He's my buddy. We're out here at Massoni's doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. Do you have a favorite crab cake? Do you have you can plug away. You got a spot?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question.
You need a lot of your crab cake eater?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah?
The best ones are at home.
Okay.
I think every restaurant in Baltimore worth their salt can make a good one.
That's why I did the tour.
Right.
Because they're all different. I rarely have had a crab cake where I'm like, this is identical to blank. I'll say this. My guy at Greenmount Station up in Hampstead, he has the Angelina's recipe.
Okay.
So if you were an Angelina's guy, and I am.
You know what? That would
So every time I go to Greenmount Station, I tell, and Chris knows this, Chris's father had the recipe, something about Angelina's. So he said it was inspired by the Angelina's recipe. Every time, and I've done 100 shows out there back in the day, right? I would always get the crab cake and say, this tastes like Angelina's. And
the little restaurant down, you had to walk down to get in there.
It's down by the Fenwick. It's
but you had to, the dining room was down. You had to walk down steps in that little
Knotty
Pine.
The whole thing going on. And so when I eat that crab cake, I'm like, that tastes like an Angelina. I mean, all of the crab cakes that I have been involved with from a sponsor location, like Coco's is uniquely Coco's.
I've never had one.
Fadley's is uniquely. I could totally do the Pepsi Coke. If you put 10 crab cakes in front of me, I'd be pretty good at telling you where it came from.
See, I
could.
I even used to like the fried crab cakes at the carnivals.
I love fried crab cakes.
Man,
the fried crab cakes at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
That was like my mom's crab cake.
See, to me, when I grew up, it was supposed to be fried. Now they became bigger and broiled and they're healthier. But, I still like a fried crab cake.
All right. Do you want to go to Annapolis? I believe it's called Davis's Pub. Let me look it up. So I'm trying to help people out here. If you're looking for Davis Pub, Chester Avenue, it's in Eastport. Their crab cake, if I pull it up, you're going to see that's a fried ass crab cake.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That's Davis Pub. That's the only way to serve them there. Little corner pub in Eastport. So there you go.
You see, that's old school.
Now, I had a fried crab cake at Costas 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, Monday night, my wife and I went into Costas, and I haven't had a crab cake in like a month and a half.
Just waiting to do all these shows?
No, I went in, and my wife got a salad, and I didn't know what I wanted to eat. And I'm like, I'm getting a crab cake. And I ordered, Pete was there, and I had a fried crab cake, and it was friggin' delicious, and my wife started stealing it because she was in on it. So I love me a fried crab cake.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes
with the I like a broiled one.
This is a big broiled one. Keep going. What are you saying? You like a big broiled one? What?
But sometimes you go to the places, and you'll get all the jumbo lump, but then it won't have any season to it. I want a little kick, if at all possible.
Say filler. Filler is the slurry, man. That gives it the flavor.
Yeah, it binds
I don't mind break. If it tastes good, it's good.
See, you get it.
It's good.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
It's good. All right, so concerts, man. We got. I do some sports with. Are you happy with the Ravens and the Orioles right now?
I'm not happy with what went on yesterday. And I still feel like the fact that I really think that losing Isaiah Likely, that was somebody just they cut their own throat, but that's a little extreme, but you know what I mean. That didn't have to happen.
I don't know, man. He got a lot of money, and they signed Andrews because they couldn't sign him.
Well, I know that's what was
really
going on.
what was going on. The Linderbaum
But
thing.
did they throw the same contract he got with the Giants at him? That level contract?
No. They signed Andrews because he was signable.
Right.
And I guess Lamar has a real relationship with Andrews, and they felt like he's the one they could keep. The Linderbaum thing's amazing because, and Luke and I have been at this all week, they probably could have signed him. If they would have given him $20 million, if they would have made him a nickel more than Creed Humphrey last summer,
right,
they would have gotten him. He would have screwed himself out of $30 million.
I'd rather take that big contract they were give Linderbaum and get 2 guards and draft a center.
Linderbaum got $8 million more a year than he would have gotten with the Ravens.
Because it's only a 3-year deal.
Then I did the math on this, and you get your chat GPT out on this. Because Leonard Raskin always says to me about taxes and money, Florida, Nevada, don't sign in California, don't play in New York, you don't want to play in Maryland, you don't want to play in Illinois because of taxes. I did the number on it today.
Yeah.
If the Ravens would have offered that crazy contract to him, it still would have been $7.2 million less over 3
Wow.
years. Just over 3. It's not for the life of the contract. It's only a 3-year contract.
Then God bless the Raiders.
$7.2 million more just because he's employed in Nevada, not employed in Maryland.
Wow.
And it would have been $8 million more if the Giants, because New Jersey, if Harbaugh wanted him,
Right.
he would have gotten dinged another $800,000 because they're at like 11% in Jersey.
Yeah, people don't think about that. But that's
you have
the truth.
to think
you
about
do,
that.
especially in that kind
so
of money.
So if you're wondering why he wound up in Las Vegas, first, if he's going to snap to the number 1 pick in the draft, he got $8 million more a year plus the tax benefits.
And let's be realistic: a kid in his 20s and living in Las Vegas, a multimillionaire,
they
that's not such a bad thing.
They do this to make money.
Yeah.
It is a job.
Yeah, it's a business.
Ed Stylc is here. He's my concert buddy and sports. Albernaz, you okay with the Orioles or no?
I would like to see Trevor Rogers extended. I don't want to wait.
Really?
Yeah, it's not my money. There's no cap. I don't care.
That's a good point. That's what I always say with baseball. It's not my money.
Yeah, exactly. Extend him now. What's the difference?
Well, this is the thing with Scooble a couple of years ago in Detroit. We have this work stoppage that's going to happen at the end of the year that's going to cloud all the conversations. I think they have enough pitching this year to stay in games, to give themselves a chance, but the bullpen's still a mess too.
Big time.
And
why didn't they address that? It was so obvious.
Well, on the Kittredge injury and Holiday and Westbrook, I was a bet the over guy February 1st. By March 1st, I'm injuries, the bullpen, one of these starters isn't going to be good or ready. But the Rodriguez trade, big stones
that
for
shocked
Elias,
me.
right?
That shocked me.
I mean, spending $19 million on Bassett that late, DeAngelos just never would have done that. And then the contract for Alonso, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the new owners are spending the money. Now let's see what their level of commitment is to the community and what they're trying to do here.
I love the Alonso signing. Why do we have so many first basemen or first baseman types?
Well, the Alonso thing, I think they really wanted to import a captain.
I want that.
And I feel like the same thing's true on the defense. I mean, I feel like leadership on the Ravens, big problem. I don't know that – who was the leader of the Ravens? Who's the player?
Your guess is as good as
mine. And they keep losing these games in the fourth quarter. There's no Ray Lewis. There's no, Matt Burke on the offense. There's that grown-up part of things. It feels like the Ravens tried to import that with Roquan Smith when they brought him in.
Right.
Now it feels like they're trying to do that with Max Crosby. Certainly with the Orioles last year. Getting the manager fired, Rutschman's not hitting the ball, and he looked like the leader 4 years ago.
He was supposed to be.
Right? Henderson doesn't want that role. I think the Pete Alonso importing of him and the importing of Max Crosby, as well as Minter, just changing the leadership in a general sense. The complexion of these teams have changed with the management, with head coach and manager. It's a new beginning for both of these teams, and I sort of like that.
Yeah, me
I sort
too.
of like that.
The Orioles, I'm just a little concerned with the versatility. I mean, your Basayo,
well, their defense is going to stay.
It's going to be bad.
And the bullpen's not going to be good.
Right.
So for that, it's March, and I'm saying that. And you and I have watched 100 years of baseball
big
together.
Time.
Concerts, what are you into, man? I mean, what are you waiting? I mean, the Rush thing, I'm all over. And are you a Triumph guy?
I was just ready to bring that up. That's the. Well, I'm going to go see Cheap Trick between now and then.
You go to Charlestown.
I'm going to go
Philly.
up to Parks.
I want to do that show
it's
instead
cheaper.
of the. Is it cheaper?
Yeah,
okay,
it's cheaper.
all right.
Well,
I haven't been to that. I haven't been up there yet. I haven't been to Charlestown either.
I saw Rick Springfield and Richard Marks up at Parks Casino. It's a nice room.
I almost saw Styx there. They played there a while back. I didn't go. I have never been to Charlestown. This is where I am. I'm into going to different venues.
Me too. I like that.
And I did the Hollywood Bowl last September, and it was top 3 bucket list.
Yeah, you travel more than I do. I'm more of a road trip guy.
In what way?
Well, I just financially, hopping on a plane's not the easiest thing.
No, but you said a road trip guy, but like you go places and over a concert?
Oh, yeah, just in places that aren't that big a deal. Like not this past summer, but the summer before, I saw Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick were in Pittsburgh. And what we usually tend to do, I kind of got this from you a little bit. I noticed that the Pirates and the Cubs were there that weekend, too.
Make a weekend.
Yeah, we made it a weekend. The hotel was in between both stadiums.
Perfect.
Could walk. It was an awesome weekend.
And Pittsburgh's nice.
Yeah, it is actually nice. That's a dirty little secret people don't want to admit.
Don't tell anybody. Cleveland's okay, too. I had a wild hair 2 summers ago. The Sammy Hagar tour was out, and I figured he'd be doing it he's 75 years old. They're not all doing this forever.
Yeah, that's the other thing you got to keep in mind.
I mean, Herb Alpert's coming here in a couple
saw
of weeks,
that,
too.
Just don't go see Frankie Valli because it's basically seeing a corpse. Have you seen that? Those are YouTube videos of that?
The fake singing, whether it's David Lee Roth, whether it's like David Coverdale shut it down and probably not a bad idea.
But he actually had somebody live on stage singing some of the parts. I just saw Whitesnake's one of their final performances. So he brought another vocalist. There was no auto-tuning.
Journey's got the keyboard singer singing half the songs.
Yeah,
now, right?
And they I'll send you the link tomorrow. Arnell got busted auto-tuning. He was talking, introducing the band, and all of a sudden, and there's a Wings of Pegasus website where they check the analysis of the pitch and everything, and he was introducing Neil Schon, and they forgot to turn the auto-tune off, and you hear his voice go,
Oh, man,
So, yeah.
I don't know how auto-tune works.
I don't know it all either. I'll send you the link.
I just, John's one of my best friends in the whole world, like on the air, off the air. And when we go to concerts together a lot, and he's a musician, so he always knows.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just knows.
Sure. And I don't claim to be a musician.
Like, my wife loves Bruno Mars, but John's like, yeah, Bruno, he's doing a lot of moving up there.
There's a lot of this more and more.
A lot of dancing going on.
Between the auto-tuning and the AI. I've heard AI songs. Like, I was the other day, I was just searching different bands in AI. There's like these Queen songs, original songs of Freddie Mercury singing that he never sang. I'm like, damn if it doesn't really sound like the band. And that's scary.
I saw who's the country artist that was on Six? Was it Randy Travis? He's got a debilitating situation, and they taken his voice and made songs with him, right? Yeah. Look, I had Bill Cole here 2 hours ago, and I'm AI'd up, and I told him
there's a lot of good things about it.
There's a lot of great things about it. I mean, I'm using it a lot. The first thing it asked me to do in November was give it when it knew who I was, because it knows everything about me, and it knew that instantly. It knew everything about me because I'm a public figure. So it knew everything about me, and the first thing it wanted me to do was give it my voice so it could start making my commercials and make my life easier.
That's wild, isn't it?
And to this day, it is on the top of my list. If I had a little more time before I was vacationing this week, it's the first thing I'm going to do when I get home, because I know I can, and it's better now than it was 6 months ago. It is. 11 Labs and the AI companies that do this. I'm going to give it my voice, and literally anything I type, anything that I want as a commercial, it will do the commercials. And Bill and I made a bet here on the air that no one's ever going to know.
Right.
And when you hear the commercials, I've done every commercial there's ever done. Like, I really read them. I really do my thing. It's going to do it for me.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And it's probably going to do it as well, if not better, than I'm going to do.
And it just and the AI just keeps getting better.
I haven't been able to give myself to it yet, but I'm trying, man.
It'll happen.
I'm going to feel like I'm cheating the man. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Those guys in Oasis, Liam Gallagher heard somebody did a Oasis song AI'd. He goes, hey, that's bloody great because now we won't have to record anything ever if we wanted to. Somebody else could do it for us. I'm like, that's a weird way of thinking about it, but yeah. I mean, think about it this way. What band of yours that's no longer around, or maybe they're all dead, just pick one that you really loved, right? Would you like to hear a new album from them?
A new Tom Petty album.
Right, exactly. You could do that. I heard Ronnie James Dio new songs.
Have you seen any of the hologram shows yet?
No.
I talked about this yesterday.
I heard the ABBA one's phenomenal.
Well, I mean, whether it's Frank Zappa, Michael Jackson, I mean, Kiss was talking about doing that forever.
Right.
I mean, they got coffins. I mean, Gene, God, But I am interested in where this is going, and I'm fascinated by live music. My son has been a huge advocate of give me a headset at a concert with a board sound.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Instead of listening to the Jackwagons talk during ballads at I would say a Billy Joel concert. Billy's not going to play anymore.
Right.
Like just the notion that like Bryan Adams can still do this. Springsteen's out doing it. Rush is going out one time. And you mentioned Triumph. I had Rick Emmett on the show this week. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I never thought they would go out.
Yeah, and they're doing it right because they're bringing extra musicians. I don't begrudge that at all. When you got guys in your 70s, they're going to have, instead of being a 3-piece, it's going to be like a 6-piece or something like that.
Six is like that now.
Yeah,
They
it's
have extra
fine.
people in the band.
As long as it's being performed live, I'm fine with it. The Who did that. They were one of the first ones to bring the orchestra. They brought all, and when they came back in 89.
And Rush is doing that too.
Yeah, and as long as the music performed for real, if you need extra help, great. But when you start messing with technology, Paul Stanley, somebody like that, I tap out.
So I've had some moments lately, and I don't really want to admit this because it makes me an old guy, and we can end with this, but the future of concerts and the future of getting shaken down and paying $20 for a beer and standing on your feet, the last couple in the last year or two went down to see How down at the 930 Club. That's the Steve Gorman, Darius Rucker, and Mike Mills. And then I went to New York to see him at Webster Hall. And I went to Philly to the Union Transfer to see the REM cover band with Jason Narducci and Michael Shannon the other night. The bar thing, it's not happening for me anymore. Like the standing still, paying $100 and being like
no,
this,
thank you.
and not even being able to dance, and smelling your breath all night, and elbowing and feeling, and my ass is getting knocked into, and I'm getting pushed around, and I feel like I'm in the way, and then the tall guy gets in front of me. The bar thing,
or they're holding up the cell phone in your line of sight.
Yeah,
and you and I both like
yeah.
filming, but I think we're both a little bit more courteous about it. That happened to me at Sammy Hagar. Guy had it right up over his head. I'm like, this is not happening. I told him straight up, you're not doing this. Because anyway, if you go to, and this is for everybody out there, you don't really have to film the show because somebody's going to be there. They're going to be better than you doing it. And like I heard you mentioning how we, in the mornings after shows, we know the show's going to be put online. For anything in Baltimore, D.C., Philly,
anything you miss,
there's a YouTube user named Jim Powers does every show. It's up, and it's always filmed really, really well. You're not going to do any better.
If you ever meet Jim Powers, I want to bring him on the show.
Yeah, well, it's his pseudonym because he's got 3 different names that are all old wrestlers. Like Jim Powers was a WWF jobber back in the day. He also posts as Tully Blanchard, and there's 2 other names. But it's the same guy because you can tell by the way everything's filmed.
Salvatore
Paloma, yeah, he does that under that name too. It's all the same guy.
Barry McKell-Seclune?
I don't know about that one.
Johnny Rods?
Well, I know all those names. I just had dinner with Johnny Rods back in August at Charlotte, the Gathering Wrestling Convention. Picked his brain for 2 hours.
All right.
We'll talk about that off the air.
When Luke hosts the show, you guys do the wrestling thing together.
All right.
He's Mr. Wrestling. You know that.
Well, and I
Luke knows more about wrestling than he knows about, well, I won't say about football and baseball. I think he knows more about wrestling than he knows about one or the other.
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
And I can only do history. I don't watch the current stuff.
Now, he's still in.
Yeah, I'm not in anymore. I haven't been in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Eck and I could talk about it from like 77
Kevin
to
and I
81,
can
and,
too,
then I went away.
The same thing.
After that, I can't talk about it anymore.
Yep.
I could talk about Bruno and
Same
Stan
thing.
Hansen. Did you see that picture I shared a couple weeks ago about the old wrestlers?
I don't think I did.
It was a picture up.
See, I go to all these conventions, and I've met all the childhood heroes.
I shared this years ago. It was from years ago because, like, all the guys in the picture are dead now. It had Nikolai Volkov, Bruno
from the Baltimore
Sammartino,
area.
Bob Backlund, Stan Hansen,
I've seen that picture.
They're all sitting at obviously an autograph show,
Yeah.
and they're at a table together. And I wrote on there, like, Bob Backlund invited me to Stabil's one night. For
It's got to be Stabil's. He yelled at me when I called it Stabil's. He goes, "It's Stabil's," and he was very forceful about
Bob
it.
Backlund?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he invited me there. Bruno was supposed to do an Italian dinner with me.
I
many
remember
years
that.
ago.
I was going to go to
He couldn't
that.
sell tickets.
Yeah, I would have went.
I'm embarrassed, but, I mean, I'm really bummed that didn't happen. That was one of my great ideas.
And he was such a gentleman.
Nice man.
Unbelievable.
He was going to come down from Pittsburgh, and that never happened. But, like, the old wrestling community and what's going on there, like, I love those memories,
Me
but
too.
I feel so terrible about the long-term part of what being a wrestler was like. And in retrospect, what a tough life for all of those guys.
Without it. And think about this, last thing on the wrestling. When we were going to the Civic Center in the late 70s, early 80s, you saw people from ages 7 to 70. It's no longer that way. It's all geared to the younger demographic. So you don't see those blue-haired old Mr. Georgette Krieger, the one that used to be yeah. None of that happens anymore.
Well, doesn't appeal. That's my thing for sports. I'm wondering how baseball's ever going to catch on to young people the way we loved it. And I even think with football, as much as people like playing their fantasy and betting on the game, bet, they're never going to feel like Bel Air Road and Hartford Road.
It's different.
And it's a different association with the team. That's not that I'm not willing to accept that. I just...
Oh, I don't mind. I mean, it's fine. Times change.
It doesn't make me feel the same way.
No.
Now, music makes me feel the same way. I can hear a song. There's going to be a moment at a concert this summer when Triumph's playing Magic Power, when Getty and Alex go out and they're doing Free Will, where there's going to be a moment that's going to be that moment for me that sports doesn't give me anymore.
Yeah, and pretty soon those moments are going to be gone.
That's why I'm going to see them all.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know. With AI, dude, we may.
Well, I saw a great Rush tribute band called the Rush Tribute Project recently, and I'll send you a link to them.
Are you going to go to the real Rush show? Or
I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the
pricing you out.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Like me, dude. He and I have been to thousands of concerts. They ain't made the concert that's worth more than $1.25 for me today.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
When was the first time you spent $100 or more at a concert? Because I can tell you exactly when mine was.
I probably spent $100 on a Barbra Streisand ticket or an Eagles ticket or a Rolling Stones ticket because they were the ones that were $20 ahead.
Yeah.
When they toured, if it was $50, it was $75 to see Barbra Streisand. If it was $75 to see Styx, it was $125 to see the Stones. They were always getting a little bit more money.
Yeah, Eagles, Sheryl Crow, RFK Stadium, that had been around 1994. First time I spent $100 or more.
So in mid-'90s, okay.
Yeah.
It probably was.
And I was horrified, but I wanted to go.
It's probably a Rolling Stone show for me at some point.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That era.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac was doing all those.
I never paid for them. No. Yeah. I mean,
that was my last time at the Cap
Stones
Center.
and the Eagles were the first ones to overcharge.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
The Eagles priced me out of RFK Stadium the first time they played there. I'm like, I'll wait for them to do the arenas.
And Eagles, you want to see them in a smaller venue anyway. That's not the kind of music for 65,000 people.
It was pretty cool at the Sphere.
Well, the Spheres, that's 14,000.
Yeah.
I want to go there so bad.
Go see something you love there.
Right.
I saw U2. I saw the Eagles. No offense, I don't pay $200 to see
I heard the Wizard of Oz is awesome, though. I heard
it's in Smell-O-Vision, and it's it has all sorts of. It's three-dimensional, but I still don't want to pay $100 to see.
I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see a show.
And plus, Vegas is way more expensive than I remember.
There's a rumor that Rush might want to put their videos together there, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Ed Stylc's been my friend. He's got nothing to sell, nothing to promote, other than the fact that he loves sports, he loves music, he's a good dude, and he's my friend, and I wanted to have you out because you live here in Perry Hall. And, I'm glad you're doing well, man.
Yep, everything's good.
Healthy. Living his best life, my dude Ed Stylc. I'd say you can find him out on the internet. Here's what. Anytime you see me pirating good concert video footage, it's because he tipped me off at 8 in the morning.
That's true. That happens a lot.
All right. I saw your boy Jeff Soto Scott the other day taking a picture with somebody.
Yeah, he's getting ready. He's in Trans-Siberian Orchestra now.
He put a picture up with Tommy DiCarlo, who passed away.
And
I have a dear friend in life who was I don't want to say he's the Chad Steele of the Vikings, but he was the Kevin Byrne of the Vikings, the longtime PR director of the Vikings. He's now their archivist, and he was a neighbor of Tommy DiCarlo. And Bob would always invite me to Minnesota.
Passes away on the same day as Brad Delp, too. It's crazy.
He would always say to me, Tommy's my friend. You got to come out and see. Tommy's doing this band in Minnesota, and he plays with this thing, and he's great. You come, and I almost went to see him down at Epcot because he did that Boston. He would do a classic rock band that he had. So Tommy DiCarlo was the fill-in singer for Boston, and I had interviewed Brad Delp and had met Brad Delp back in the day, and he's from my wife's hometown in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So the DiCarlo thing, man, like we have the fill-in singers now dying. That's how old we're getting. I mean,
well, think about it. When we go to see Triumph, the last time they were here was almost 40 years ago at the arena. Civic Center with Yngwie Malmsteen. Jeff Scott Soto was singing for Yngwie Malmsteen that night.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be 39 and some change when we go to see Triumph in Camden.
I'm in.
That ought to, if you don't feel old now, that ought to really make you
This
feel
is
old.
making me feel. Well, I had Rick Emmett on the show this week, and he looked beautiful. Like he showed up on my Zoom. He's like, "Hey, Nestor, how you doing?" And he looked at me. I'm like, "God, you look great."
Yeah,
That's the
still-
first thing I said. I'm
still
like,
sounds good, too.
You look great. I mean, he's growing his hair. He's 72. He's out to be 73. I look all right. I'm like, dude, bring it. I want to see Rick Emmett do these songs.
Yeah, I
So,
think this is a must go.
it is a must go.
Yeah,
It's
no doubt.
what's it? Late May?
May
3rd?
28th.
Something like that. Right.
It's a Thursday.
Camden. Go see Triumph. Go see these bands while you can. Ed and I are trying to do it. Try not to pay too much money. We're going to go see Cheap Trick and rock out the charisma of Robin Zander, the magnetism of Rick Nielsen. I think it's the other way
We
around.
got scalp tickets, too. That's
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Blue Oyster Cult. I am Nestor. We're at Massoni's. We are wrapping things up here. I'm going to be on a little bit of a respite. By the way, I am running interviews, a lot of classic rock interviews, a week from Monday. I have all music day before opening day. You're going to hear me with Earl Weaver and Brooks Robinson and all sorts of old school stuff before opening day. And, of course, Luke is here. Anything breaking news happens first on the WNST tech service. If we actually sign a center, we'll have that. We have a pass rusher now. It's all brought to you by Cole Roofing and Gordy and Energy. My thanks to Nicole, Terry, everybody out here at Massoni's. We've had some. Did you get a lottery ticket?
I did.
Put that in your pocket. You only get one. Once you buy a prize, it's yours to keep. I'm back for more. I'm Nestor. We're Baltimore Positive. Stay with us at AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore.